Hello, welcome back to Breakfast Central. It's now time for us to look at newspaper front pages, and joining us to analyze newspaper front pages today is no other than the CCO of Sustainable Stories Africa, Mr. Uade Ahimie. You're welcome to the program and Happy New Year. First time you're coming to Breakfast Central in the brand new year of 2026, and a lot has happened. In the few days.
Good morning, Benga. Good morning, Nigeria and the rest of the continent. It's great to be here. Happy New Year to everyone. Wishing you a great 2026.
Yeah, great to have you. So many things happening across the world and with implications to Nigeria. So we start off with this Nigerian newspaper. On the front page of this Nigerian newspaper, oil prices fall again after Trump says Venezuela to send oil to the United States. In what sounds like a bullying and threat, as so many people have analyzed it. We'll come back to that in a second. But the main headline of this Nigerian newspaper says, court orders interim forfeiture of 57 properties. I repeat, 57, 57, linked to Malami. The rider says grants 500 million bill to former Justice Minister, his wife and the son. As we said earlier this morning, that's a family affair. And judge warns lawyers against trying to influence him. What are the implications for the Nigerian judiciary? Why should a judge make this statement? A judge should not be approachable in the first place. We'll get to that. FCC poll, no substituting order to act on INEC. No subsisting court order to act on, INEC tells Labour Party. And a sad one in the southwestern part of Nigeria. Bandits kill park rangers, deepen Oyo security fears. Obasanjo, how I freed Nigerian labor from grip of CIA, KGB. Ex-president reveals secret pact with Sumonu to sustain labor credibility. So, Mr. Uade Ahimie, you have it. Where do you want to pick and choose from? Where should we start from? The big one, the Malami, the story that's screaming at us in the face. Court orders interim forfeiture of 57 properties linked to Malami, grants 500 million naira bill. The first question that comes to my mind is, what makes it very easy? Aren't there early warning mechanisms or systems in place that will flag corruption and issues of graft? Because what we see later is headlines, you know, sensational headlines. Oh, X person wanted for X billion amount of money that was misappropriated and all of that. Is it that when you're in government, it's just the coffers are so open that all you need to do is just go there and help yourself?
Well, it seems so in Nigeria these days, when you're in government, that the coffers are completely open for you to just open it up and, you know, what's it called? Take as you go. But the truth about this is that there is an interim order to forfeit for 57 properties, which is the right thing for the judge to do, to grant that interim forfeiture while the court listens to both sides of the story. But my problem here is always this. This is the big story of 2026. January 2026, we are covered by AFCC saying that Malami embezzled 213.2 billion. Am I right about that? And then he has 57 properties, XYZ, ABC. First and foremost, before he came into government, he was already a lawyer, and a popular lawyer for that matter, across Nigeria. I think even before he came into government, he was a son, and if he had become a son, we know how much sons, you know, charge
for their briefs,
for their just the briefs, not even to talk about going to court. And so these are all the things that you must put in context. But I can nearly say that what we need to do in Nigeria is, rather than sensational headlines or perceived or alleged corruption, let the case go into court. Get a judgment, let it go through the court process, get all your judgments, whether it's from the High Court to the Appeal Court to the Supreme Court, and then we know for sure that these things are real, because we've seen so many cases dismissed, even at the High Court, before it even goes to appeal by the court, on lack of evidence. So all these newspaper headlines trial, and that's what Nigerians are going to be talking about, which is, for me, is a distraction.
Sensational.
It's a distraction. Rather than focus on how will 2026 go. The president has laid out key things of what he plans to do. The CBN had said that inflation should drop to about 12%, so we'll wait for them in the first MPC for the year in February to see if they will reduce MPR, which is rates for borrowing between banks. Because last year, when inflation dropped to about 16-15%, the last meeting, everybody was expecting, all analysts, all economists said, oh, they would reduce it, even if it's by 100 basis points. But we didn't see that. And I was chatting with one of my friends, and one of the things I asked is it that the MBS data is not aligning with the street data? Because when you have an MPC that is comprised of 12 people, and 7 of them also live in the realities of Nigeria, of course they would hear what is going on and whether these rates that have dropped astronomically is halved in 1 year.
Another story on the front page of this Nigeria is bandits kill park rangers deepen Oyo security fears. So on one hand, they say we're on top of the security situation, and the other hand, it's moving, it's spreading towards southwestern states. So was this an opportunistic attack, and is it a cause for alarm? Well,
2 things come to mind to me when we talk about this. First is the bomb attack or the bombing on December 25th in Sokoto. Did they really
by the United States government? Yeah.
Yes. A collaboration effort. Did they really have a major impact on disrupting terrorist activities? Because what we're now hearing is that a number of them fled or have fled where they were and are moving in different directions. And that's typical for criminals. So where are they going to? Because there was an attack, I think in Sokoto, one in Taraba. So of course, those who if the place becomes so hot, you look for cooler grounds. And where would you find cooler grounds? You'll find cooler grounds as it goes on. So in my own opinion, I think the government should be a full-pronged security initiative. As you are bombing, you are ensuring that security
that they can flee to other places.
Even if they are fleeing, they are aware of who they are, because if that intelligence is available, then of course you can provide it to other states, and then you can start to take precautionary actions towards ensuring that those who are fleeing can be arrested, and if there is an encounter, if they lose their lives, unfortunately, they won't go for trial and be able to tell us more about whether they are financiers or their colleagues and so on and so forth. So these are the things I see. So that's the possibility, fleeing terrorists looking for safe havens. And unfortunately, this is not the first one. One happened in Niger a few days ago. I don't know whether it's terrorists from the Middle West or those who are fleeing. Now this is in Oyo. But I think it was earlier in the week or sometime earlier in the week, there were speculations that some of the Western states had identified that some of those fleeing terrorists were coming in this direction, and I guess that's what a fallout of encounters with the park rangers.
Yeah. Okay. Let's look at another newspaper very quickly. I'd like us to look at our next paper, The Punch. Let's see what The Punch is packed with. Tax law, 5 trillion naira VAT windfall for states as new formula begins. New tax law tilts VAT revenue towards states, local governments, and federal governments. Share drops to 922 billion naira. The tax law.
So the governors should be happy, and does more money mean better governance?
Well, in the states,
for the states, and also
it should.
Would local government autonomy finally kick off?
Well, it should, because there is a Supreme Court judgment on it. However, we've seen, and this is the irony. Well, 30 governors are now with the APC. the ones who are not with the APC, we see 36 state governors who are all bound by principle of local government autonomy. Does not mean that local government funding should go directly to local government. And you know the irony of this, and I say this, people tend to forget, the president is now pushing for this. He's the one who pushed for funding local government funding autonomy to cease 25 years ago. Now you're pushing for it. What's behind it? The same Attorney General was the one who argued that case. Is he seeing things differently today? Maybe. But the truth of it is
what should be the appropriate?
The appropriate is local government should have autonomy. What the Constitution says is the local government and the state government must have a joint account that is managed by the local government. And the reason being that they want to be sure.
Because keep tabs.
No, not just keep tabs. The budget of any state, when you hear a state, oh, our budget is 1 trillion, is inclusive of the activities of the local government. So you just don't want to throw the money directly to the local, and this is my opinion, don't want to throw the money directly to the local government. And then you find out that they are diverting money to other things.
No, we have anti-graft agencies. If they divert, they will pay.
We have people monitoring. Let's take Uche. Uche is calling us from Abia State. Good morning, Uche.
Everybody.
Good morning.
Good morning. Can you hear us?
Yeah.
Oh.
The paper you people read just now, governors will be happy regards to new tax law. Nigerians will be making our leaders happy. When will our leaders make us happy as a citizen? That's the question we'll be asking them. These governors are living like emperors. You remove a subsidy, Nigerians are suffering. Where is the money of subsidy? Now they are happy because Nigerians are going to pay more. Making them happy. You people should ask them, when are they going to make us happy? The essence of being in government is to do what? To make your people happy. When will they make us happy in return? God bless you people.
A very important question. Subsidy removal. There was windfall for the governors. Now this VAT, the new tax laws, 5 trillion naira windfall, more monies for the governors. When will they make the people happy?
500 billion extra that is coming to them.
Wow.
So it's not like this windfall. When you put that headline as 5 trillion windfall,
to be shared.
It's like saying that 5 trillion is new money. No, they already had about 4.5 trillion before now, so they are having an additional 500 billion to make it. Oh yes, that's what it is, because the federal government share of VAT has reduced. Now,
but it means more money at the end.
Oh yes, and I agree. So and I hear Uche, but the other part of it is we as citizens of those states, and we're always, jumping at the center. Mr. President didn't do this, Mr. President did that, But the states themselves, that the governors themselves who govern where you stay, are you with me? How are you holding them accountable?
They seem to be getting a free pass, yeah.
How are you holding them accountable? Everybody has been shouting about local government funding autonomy, but nobody seems to continue to push. We as Nigerians are not speaking to that fact. Why? But like I said, autonomy doesn't mean that you can't have a joint fund, which is to help you as the state monitor that the things that have been provided for in the budgets are being carried out, and I agree to that. However, we as citizens of the state, we are more important as citizens, and when I know citizens, as residents of the state and citizens of this country, we're more interested in talking about states where we don't reside. More on the issue of, oh, my state, like Benga will always say, I'm from Edo State by origin. Well, I don't know what concerns me.
Let's take Michael. Let's take this call. Michael from Abuja. Michael, good morning.
Good morning. I just want to say that. Can you hear me?
Go ahead.
Okay, good morning.
Good morning.
I just want to say that the government, whether we like it or not, they have failed us. Yes, I just heard your guest talking about the citizens at the state level holding their governors accountable. How can they hold them accountable when the singular power they have of voting these people out of power have been taken away from them? Elections are no more. Elections are no more transparent. We all know how elections are. That's the only way citizens can hold these governors accountable. Now, the president, instead of allowing the fuel subsidy and taking the crime in it away, swept off the subsidy and did the environment, if you ask me, move the money to these governors that we already know. Not just the governors, even the president. The president takes a large chunk of the money, and the governors say that now they are not doing anything with it. We don't feel the effect. People don't feel the impact of the. I don't know what this government is doing for the citizens. Every government has a contract for the welfare of their citizens. What is this government doing? What subsidy? What are they doing for their? What are they doing? What are they doing? That's one thing I want to add. So there's no way. We'll just pray that something happens that will change the order right now in the country. Thank you.
Much,
I mean, if you go by the laws of physics, I mean, nothing is going to happen if there's no push.
There's no equal and opposite reaction.
Yes,
okay.
And I mean, some of these governors, he raised a very poignant point that beyond payment of salaries, because some of them even think it's an achievement to pay workers' salaries.
Oh, yeah,
and it is, because we remember Osun State under Aregbesola, how they even came up with a formula. You take a certain percentage.
Can I interject you? It's the responsibility of New Central to pay you a salary. Am I correct?
Yes.
So how can it be an achievement if what they are supposed to do, they do it, barring the fact that if they don't pay you salaries, it means that they are not doing their work.
It's an indictment on them.
Exactly,
yeah.
and that's what I was saying, and I do hear what he said. But let's remember when they say, "Oh, the president could have taken the windfall from fuel subsidy," there is a revenue allocation formula, and the subsidy that was taken away from fuel comes into the revenue pot. And you're not going to tell me that because it came from fuel. It's not like the excess crude account, which is managed more by the federal government.
But why are these states, some of the states, not viable, economically viable? They have to go person hand in.
Because the states have not been able to create the systems to make businesses want to come into the states. And I'll give an example. Someone, maybe let me use the middle belt and the north, where you have a lot of vegetable farming and all. When I say tomatoes and all,
yes,
tomatoes
crops,
are
potatoes.
Yeah. Now, if I want to set up a tomato processing plant, someone will tell me that the cost of land, for example, in a Kaduna state or in a Benue state or in a Taraba state, is 500 million naira. If I pay for certificate of occupancy for maybe 15, 20 years, because they reduce all those things that used to be 50, 99 years, now most states are doing 20, 25. And then I build that factory. I pay 500 million for the land. I build the factory with another 2 billion. That's 2.5 billion. I will employ workers. I would manage the logistics. I would buy my machines. I will do all that, and then it comes back to the market. What maybe should have cost, let's say 200 naira, is now at 1,000 naira. Who are you to blame? And then the states will say, "Oh, we are not. They can't generate revenue." How do you generate revenue when there are no businesses to help you generate revenue?
You're right. Let's take this call from Wisdom from River State. Oh dear, we lost Wisdom there. But still on the front page of the Punch newspaper, a very interesting piece of news here. On the bottom left corner, Togo, Niger, Benin owe Nigeria 25 billion naira for electricity. and we are complaining that we don't have enough electricity, and then Togo, Benin and Niger owing us. I expect to see ladders on Lagos Badagry Expressway. Trucks of ladders.
Or trucks of
heading
ladders.
towards Togo. Trucks of ladders to cut their lights.
Well,
Because even us, they threaten us with disconnection in Nigeria. And, I mean, is this,
that's
is this
you,
a case
you
of
consumers.
Yeah, consumers.
So,
is it a case of Father Christmas here?
No, I don't
you
think
are
it's
giving what you don't even have.
No, I don't think-
enough of. And then they have the audacity to owe you.
Well, the audacity to owe you is
And
wrong.
then you are
is the
looking for
wrong
money
part.
too.
Yes, and then you are
The
looking
audacity-
and then is
missing
the
money.
2 trillion naira subsidy, are they also subsidizing other countries? Does this fall on there?
Well, I'm not sure. I don't know about subsidy. They don't have a right to owe you once you deliver on the service level agreements, which I think Nigeria has continually done. Now the question is, how has the payment been structured? Now, sometimes when you hear this debt, it might be that payment is structured that you pay every 90 days, and the debts that are being owed now, currently, is that 90 days debt.
But now 3 countries collectively, if it was one country, that means they probably have a plan.
Togo.
they have a...
You know why I like Vega, you know why I like Nigerians? Everybody has a plan. A plan to make you,
To frustrate
to
Nigeria.
not only frustrate you, but to steal your money.
3
That's-
countries collabo to owe us money. 25 billion is a lot of money.
And I agree. And we should make arrangements to make sure that we collect them.
Let's move to our next story, still on the Punch News.
I like that kind of arrangement. And they should just remind them of what happened when they planned the coup in Benin Republic.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, they should play that tape for them.
Okay. Yesterday, Dati Mohammed said he was going for president. He was going for the ticket of presidency under the Labour Party. While he was doing that, a few hours ago, Abure was disgruntled that INEC said they don't recognize his faction. So what do you make of this? As political parties jostle to get their party ready and in top shape.
And the fact that Dati thinks he can go it all alone now. He used to be Peter Obi's running mate.
I really don't understand. What does the Constitution say?
Anybody is free to.
Anybody's free.
Exactly. Is he not a Nigerian? Does he not have a right?
Let me look at it
Spirit
this
of
way.
disloyalty there.
I don't understand disloyalty.
Let me look at it this
The
way.
other man, Peter Obi, who ran under the Labour Party, has decided to pitch his tent somewhere else. And he has decided to be loyal to his party. So, which is loyalty? Am I supposed to follow my...
His popularity rose because of his association with Peter Obi and
That's
the
what people
obedience
say.
movement.
That's what you say. You don't know.
Okay.
How do you know that? So let him, first and foremost, let him even run a campaign to win the primaries in the Labour Party. And if he does that, then he will go and run a national presidential campaign. And then we'll see what his popularity or how much his popularity is, whether his popularity is based on him or his popularity was based on his presidential running mate in the 2023 election. But like I say and I continually say, every Nigerian, citizen of Nigeria has a right to vie and contest for any electoral post based on the laws, which is the Constitution of Nigeria. Now, somewhere else, someone had asked, oh, should we continue zoning? In my own opinion, I think zoning is wrong, because what it does with zoning is you now start to try and pick who, where, which zone. So, and I give a good example. Everybody says Southwest. In Southwest, there are 6 states or 5 states. So when you zone it to Southwest, which states? Because that's the next thing. Because now the president has come from Lagos, Southwest. Okay, so he goes to the north. Buhari was from Northwest.
Katsina.
Yes, Northwest. So if he's going back to the north now, which part of the north should he go to? Is it north central or northeast?
Anywhere not.
Well,
That's the agreement.
that's what they will agree on. Let's go to the Guardian, our last paper. They're
Before
very
we go to the
interesting
Guardian,
stories.
quick one. I mean, this is very important because of its implications and the diplomatic relations we have. Yes, U.S. slams $15,000 visa bond on Nigerians, and this is the same. Okay, but let's take Julius from Lagos. We hardly get calls from Lagos.
Yeah, I mean, Lagos. Good morning.
And we're in Lagos. Hello, good morning, Julius.
Yeah, good morning.
Let's be sure. Which Julius? Are you sure it's not Julius Abure?
Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can.
Ask again.
Thank you very much.
It's good for us to hear things like this, but I just want to talk about two things. On the security issue, I want us to know that our security agencies, they are trying, but they need to do more. They need to be proactive. With all these things that is coming, this thing has been coming from the north, they should know that it is coming down to the west. So what are we doing? Let's stop playing politics with the lives of the people. I think that's what I see in the security thing, because we have the capacity to do this thing, and I don't know what is happening. Our soldiers, our police, our everything, the people. If you have to arm people, arm people. For how long are we going to look at this? People are killed on a daily basis in the north, in the east, in the west, and all we do, we come out, we say this and that. Then on the issue of the electricity, it is very, very sad. The government keeps telling us that they subsidize electricity, trillions of naira. Yet, Benin, 3 countries that are our neighbors, they are owing. So what is subsidy? Is subsidy bad? Is subsidy that all over the world, things are subsidized to make lives easier. Our government should follow suit. Subsidy is not, there's nothing bad in subsidy. If subsidy is abused, they can check the abuse. Thank you very much.
Too much, Julius. And they should also provide the electricity, provide the service in the first place.
And I totally agree with you.
Yeah. Now, back to that U.S. story. U.S. slams $15,000 visa bond on Nigerians and 60% of African countries. This is the same United States that is building the largest consulate general in the world in Eko Atlantic City on a 12.2-acre land project
because
at the cost of $537 million.
Because of that, I didn't want them to recoup their money.
Hold on. I'm coming somewhere. $537 million. This is the same United States that is concerned about the lives of Nigerian Christians. So it doesn't even want to give Nigerian Christians the opportunity to visit the United States of America. Meanwhile, President Trump fast-tracked. There's a special program for Afrikaners, white South Africans, that he claimed have been that are victims of a genocide in South Africa. How do you make sense of all of this? Is this not sending a signal that, look, first came the ban, then this visa bond, that, look, I don't want you people to visit my country. You're not welcome, because that's the interpretation.
Okay, and I clearly understand your frustrations. But
it's not my frustrations. I have no business in going to the United States.
Exactly.
The United States is not heaven. For Christ's sake.
And I did say it was.
Yes.
So for those who have business in the United States, it just means that the cost of doing business is going to go up by another $15,000. That's one part. For those who don't have business there, are you with me? Live in Nigeria and let's make it a better place. So that if we really need to go to the United States, then we know that it's because of business, and that business is going to translate into making money. That's the second part. Now, the third part is not only Africa that he has done it to.
A majority proportion of it is Africans.
Yes,
and
but he
countries
also,
that have black and brown majority populations.
But he's also done it to Canada.
No, Canada is not on this list.
Well, because he had done it long before now. He did it last year. It was all over the news when he did it. Anyway, but the fact remains that the United States has its prerogative, and the President of the United States determines or decides, along with his executive team, what they want to do, for as long as it doesn't require consent by
Congress.
And that is exactly what he's doing. But like we know, Donald Trump is the president who is trying to ensure that, like he says, more revenue for America.
And by the way, the U.S. also withdrew itself from about 52 international treaties and organizations.
Yeah, because of, he's trying to save money.
Part of
he's trying to save
America
money.
First policy. That's more isolationist, by the way.
Well, let's go to the Guardian quickly.
Let's go to the
19
Guardian.
months after, governors explore gaps in constitution, resist local government autonomy.
Why?
They don't want it. They want to have control of the money. All right. Malami court grants interim forfeiture of 57 properties worth 213.2 billion. Wow.
When you call these figures,
one person. New tax laws undermine tax system, democracy. NLC wants federal government. Kaduna farmers seek federal government's help over 10 points. Okay, that's a different one. Police bust child trafficking syndicates in Anambra.
That's great work by the police.
Girls. Which one would you like to take first?
We spoke about the LG autonomy already.
Yes, we have.
And also, let me just talk about the new tax laws. NLC. Now, the biggest controversy when these tax laws, and I'd like to give kudos to Mr. Taiwo Yedele, he went round trying to educate everyone, at least whether it's the NLC or it's the... Yeah, he did.
And he did media rounds.
Yes, and he did a lot of media rounds, continually trying to explain. Now,
but why has he stopped now?
Why
has he stopped?
When the law has been passed, doesn't mean that he has stopped. He has to, and that's not true that he has stopped. He is continually talking about it on different platforms, even before the controversy came. Now everybody is fixated on the tax laws now because of the controversy of what the National Assembly
Sokoto
put in the bill and what was gazetted. And I even saw a prominent Nigerian who wrote to the chairman of the, what's it called, Nigerian Revenue, NRS, that there are two versions of the gazetted law on their website. Not just the NRS, but also the Fiscal and Tax Committee, which for me is wrong. And it's completely wrong because what you are telling Nigerians...
confusion.
Yeah, it is confusion. And that is where the point is. But in terms of the tax law rates and all, and that's an administrative part of it. And that's where people are contesting. And I agree that you need to contest it so it's clear and we know what the administration is going to be like. But in terms of the taxes themselves, the rates, the way it's going to work and all, I think, this is my opinion and this is based on my own knowledge, that it is fair. It is fair. I know people would throw me under the bus for saying this, but this is true. The same way they threw me under the bus for speaking so much about removing subsidy. And almost 10 years after that, when they removed it, everybody is there. But for me, the tax laws are fair. The administration inside the Gazette and what they say is inside the bill, which everybody says, well, the number of people, not just me, and I've also seen it, are different. That should be corrected. Because because it's one law. And once there is an error there, then it makes it not applicable because the law is not what was ascended to.
Very true.
And that's where the issue is. But in terms of the rates
there's trust deficit.
Well, I don't think it's just trust deficit. It's an issue of this is what we all saw when the National Assembly sent the bill to become an act. The beauty of this tax act is that you have all of Nigeria's tax issues or tax issues under one document, unlike before.
It's harmonized. It used to be disjointed.
Exactly. Yeah. Now you have a harmonized bill. And the fact that what is inside the Gazette and what we saw inside the bill have disparities, then this is my opinion, and the legal people will fight it out in court. I don't think it is still valid because what is used for administration is what is gazetted, and that is the Gazette that has been published and everybody has access to, that people should follow. But if you have two separate documents with different wordings for different sections, then
I agree. Well,
it should not be.
Well, the point is tomorrow we'll have a special on that, so we'll take a look at it, the gazetted law, the non-gazetted law, what was sent, what wasn't sent to the president, and so on and so forth. That's what we're going to do. But let's wrap things up very quickly as we're out of time. This time, let's look at this one. Police bust child trafficking syndicate in Anambra, rescue 33 girls. That is another big story on the front page of the Guardian newspaper. And then this one that says ADC inaugurates mobilization registration revalidation committee in 2020 for 2027, and we are in 2026. A lot of stories to look into, but guess what? we will handle all of these stories. Well, not all, some of them, as we discuss them. That will be tomorrow. All you need to do is just make sure you catch up with us again and make a date so that we can discuss further. Let me quickly touch on YouTube to find out if there's any comment I may have left out quickly before we wrap things up here on Breakfast Central. By the way, thank you so much, Uade, for
Thank you for having me, and Happy New Year once again, Nigeria.
Oh, that's true. This is the first time I've seen this year. Okay, I'm trying to look through. Okay, yes, here you go. Top of the morning, great minds. What about the discrepancies in the tax law? Mortgage Chukemeka has also highlighted the problem with subsidies in Nigeria is that over-bloating figures. They can be sincere with figures. Subsidy is not a bad thing, and that's what he says. On that note,
I would also like to use this medium to appeal to our brothers in Togo, Republic of Benin, and Niger to please
pay our money, please.
Yeah,
because they're listening to us.
Please pay.
We need regular supply of electricity.
Donne-moi l'argent.
Yeah.
Okay.
Give us our argent.
Merci beaucoup. Merci. All right. Thank you so much. My name is Joe Hansen. Thank you for watching.
And I'm Ben Gabro. And it's Uade Ahimie. Thank you so much.
Au revoir to our brothers.